Woo, woo, woo.
You know this is Sellout Podcast.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
And if you don't call somebody, then we have one word to describe you, and we're going to spell it out for you. That's
S-A-W-F-T.
I'm Adam Even.
I'm PJ.
PJ Adder in the house. Alright, so we are going to be talking about, wrestling. But, it's not going to be your average wrestling podcast. What we're going to be chit-chatting about today is, anybody can talk about WWE. And not, hey, AEW. Sweet. We're not going to remove those from the table, but if you really want to hear a dedicated podcast about those types of things, there are plenty of other places to do it. I mean, we're not going to pretend like we're CVV clips. We're not going to pretend like we're supporting Wrestle Talk, although we do support Wrestle Talk. But what we're here to do is we're here to talk about the more underground circuit. We're here to talk about things like TNA.
And in North Carolina here, AML.
AML, yeah, of course. First mention of AML, but yeah, that's what we're here to talk about. I've been wanting to pull the trigger on a podcast, a wrestling podcast. I didn't think it would be out, but here we are.
And not with the person you thought you would do it with either.
Gross.
Well,
PJ dropping the first innuendo of the podcast.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
She here. She here, she proving she's straight. Get used to it. So, a lot of really crazy news coming out of the wrestling world in the last, 2 months.
Yeah, today we heard about WWE Raw going to Netflix. And next year.
In January 2025, we got a pretty much Cody Rhodes dropped factoid that WWE is going to be, in fact, transferred over to Netflix. What happened with Peacock, and also why in the hell can't we get the network back?
Well, then you would have to have a VPN, wouldn't you?
That's right, Surfshark, get back to us. Then there was trickling backwards from that is the Seth Rollins news, and then we have Snake Eyes, and then we have
Hard to Kill.
One
of the best pay-per-views in a long time.
That was the closest I think we've gotten to a perfect card in a long time. The last really good card that I can remember watching was when they unifying regular NXT.
Yeah.
We
finally watched the freaking Funhouse match.
We did watch the Funhouse match
and the Boneyard match. That was
we do dabble in WWE. That's obviously where a lot of people's interests come from. PJ's is from.
Yeah, it was my first wrestling experience was TNA on a freaking 12-inch screen. Black and white 12-inch screen.
You can gesture all you want, but I don't think there's a high enough performance stat to be able to get that through the microphone. She was gesturing her fingers to make a TV screen. But yeah, that's your first introduction. My first introduction to wrestling was actually, we were working together a while ago in a place that will not be mentioned that isn't even open anymore. She told me to watch wrestling confidentially. Typically, it's the other way around. Typically, the guy gets the girl into the wrestling, but this time...
The first thing I showed you was that Hardy compound match with Decay.
It was either that or Sid Vicious's legs.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. You definitely... You got me interested, and then I found on Hulu, believe it or not, they had a back catalog of Raw and SmackDown and Superstars. which is a defunct thing now, and so that's what I watched.
Are they still doing Superstars?
They are not doing Superstars anymore. It went defunct in 2018. But
the first thing you really got into was the cruiserweights, weren't it?
well, so my first in this stretch of me watching wrestling was 2014 SmackDown and Raw with the Yes Move. So that's what I was watching, and then but before all of that, believe it or not, on Netflix of all places, they had the entire Lucha Underground catalog.
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo, yeah. That would be John Morrison's character in Lucha Underground. That is what I watched. I still have not watched all of it, but I got up to season 2 on Lucha Underground. It
Aztec Warfare and
Ultima Lucha and stuff like that. It was pretty good. Believe it or not, Rey Mysterio has a stint in Lucha Underground.
there's a lot of people that had a stunt in there.
Freaking, I am the cage. Yeah, so Lucha Underground, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna say where you can watch it, but you guys can find it easily. I swear. I'm not gonna have it be ruined, especially with wrestling coming back to Netflix. They might want to reopen that door.
And now TNA has TNA Plus, where you can watch all of their shows.
That's right. TNA is back. I think that's.
Although you're gonna have to pay extra to watch the pay-per-views, it's...
So what it's described as, and I guess we can get into this, TNA, hey, hi, we are repping you loud and clear, waving that freak flag like you guys fly every single, Friday?
Thursday.
Every single Thursday. So their super promotion, it's called the Champion Annual, gives you the tentpole shows, which is their big 4. But it also it's described as other pay-per-views are applicable to it.
And you get the weekly live, all that. But
we say weekly and live spelled with an EA,
because they're separate things,
and the I and the V in live is swapped around because it comes out the day after.
I mean,
well, we saw that
you do get live stuff, but if it's a weekly episodic thing that's been filmed, you have to wait till the next day after it's supposed to come out.
Yeah, well,
it comes out that night or something.
They got Snake Eyes out within 5 hours.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So there you go. I think this is the perfect opportunity to segue into the first topic of the day, which I'm assuming is going to be
hard to kill.
Hard to kill. We have the MASH cards here, including including a potion rule for D&D. Excuse me, that's a different podcast. So we have the pre-show stuff. You'll probably be able to remember these matches better than
it was Steve Macklin versus
Rich Swann.
Yeah, Rich Swann.
We had a W for
Steve Macklin.
Any standouts?
Well, he won the first match of the new TNA.
That was the first, and he won it.
He will always have that distinction.
Yeah, he will.
And now he's going on to a feud with freaking Nick Nemeth.
That is good.
That's gonna be his first feud in TNA. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, that's what happened in the at the end of Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. Apparently, so the note here said it's been a few days since we watched it, guys. We literally watched it. We watched it live.
Yeah, we watched it live
as it was happening.
Because I was not gonna miss that.
Yeah, PJ is a real TNA fan, going back years. So this was
literal childhood.
Literal childhood, not going to be missed. But that was apparently a badass spear. Got the W.
Yeah, for some reason my little 12-inch black and white TV picked up pay-per-view TNA. Back when it was still the pay-per-view weekly episodic pay-per-view thing. Yeah, that was weird when I said that wasn't.
Oh, I mean...
That was a weird way to say it.
It was both weekly and episodic and a pay-per-view,
yeah.
so it makes
and
sense.
it actually carried on through the episodes.
Okay.
Which does not happen everywhere else sometimes. Sometimes they'll just start something and then the next week it's like, what? That never happened.
Now, if only we could get that sort of antenna action in a year of our Lord.
I know, right? I mean, we do have that Clear TV thing, but I don't think it would pick it up.
No.
I wonder if my mom still has that TV.
It's a piece of crap. So we move on to the next part of the show, which in the pre-show countdown they call. We got a Top Dollar of all things coming out.
What's his name now? Francis something?
I believe he goes by Cheez-It Champion.
Ah. All hail the Cheez-It Champion.
He plays a contrived hip-hop video. As contrived as his WWE. My notes were fucking savage. My god. There you go. Fuck. Shit. Cunt. There you go. This is not a kid's show. Motherfucker.
Well, it is on my behalf.
Nope. PJ don't curse.
No, I do not.
PJ has a very clean outside of the ring percent. It gets interrupted by Joe Hendrick.
Hendry.
Hendry?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Hendry. He's any history with Joe Hendry?
I've recently got it back into TNA because it's now TNA again.
Yeah.
I mean, Impact went through an interesting time there.
Impact was a ball sack.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But it was definitely an interesting time.
That's right, PJ, outside the ring, don't hit below the belt. But I think it's a general consensus that everything we've seen from Joe Hendry between
he
this
seems awesome.
early show and Snake Eyes, he's an absolute savage. He's a straight
He's
up.
like Elias done right. No offense to Elias because he was awesome, but they actually let Joe Hendry.
Who will walk with Joe Hendry?
Yes.
So Joe plays his own music video. Top Dollar loves Cheez-It Champ. Wait, it says Top Dollar Cheez-It Champ.
And then he basically does his gigantic choke slam into some Cheez-Its.
That's right.
On Joe Hendry.
It was literally like a thumbtack spot, but with like...
Yeah, he poured out some Cheez-Its and then spread it out with his foot, and it was like, boom. He got some air on that, too.
I mean, look. He gets more air with his choke slam than he does over the top rope. Which, okay,
oh gosh.
Fine. Oh, God. Play the clip. Let's see. It says Jordan Gray shows up.
Oh, they did a backstage interview, right?
They did a backstage.
With her and Trinity.
Oh, yeah. And
Jordan Grace is a physical specimen.
Yeah, the notes here says that
wow.
Bel Air might not be the EST and everything. Because, my God, Jordan Grace, you could put her lined up to some of the men and she's still a specimen.
She's not quite as tall as them. I think I actually might be a little bit taller than her, actually, which is saying something, because I am short.
God, she's as wide as she is tall. And we're not talking fat. This lady
I don't think she has an ounce of fat on her.
She's hench. She is hench. Look at the person next to you, or on the other side of you. It doesn't matter. Somebody in the room. Look at their legs. The top part of their legs. Her arms are big.
Yeah.
And if you're alone, go in the mirror, squeeze your own leg. Let me tell you, she's got arms that are larger than the top part of your leg. All right. She tears a bicep, and it actually can count as a quad tear, all right?
Oh, gosh.
More on Seth Rollins later in the episode,
Seth
folks.
Rollins.
Now we move on.
Well, it's not as bad as it could have been.
We'll talk about that later in the episode.
Yeah.
So next we had action between the System, Brian Myers,
Eddie
and
Edwards.
Eddie Edwards versus Frankie Kaz. You told me to write down
Frankie Kazarian, because I don't know how to spell his last name, and I don't want to do it wrong.
and Eric Young.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
What do you glean from that action?
Oof. Well, it doesn't end well on Snake Eyes.
We're not at Snake Eyes.
I know that.
So let him bask in the glory right now, okay?
Well, I've always liked Frank Kazarian. I mean, he's an awesome
you like
wrestler.
him so much you can't even spell his last name.
Well, he's Kaz.
Kazarian. Kazarian.
You had to look it up.
Yes, I did. He's got a very, very humdrum drab picture as his like most searched image.
Let me see.
Throw it up there.
Well,
We're coming off a sickness. Excuse me.
he's one of the TNA originals.
He is.
He's not one of the originals, but he was around the beginning.
What's one of
So was
your biggest
Eric Young.
takeaway?
I mean, it was cool seeing the originals together.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric Young was originally part of Team Canada.
Yeah.
And then he went on to be Super Eric, where he would come down to the ring and his own pyro would scare him.
Like
So yeah,
Booker
he's
T
come
in that
a
one
long
game
way.
getting blown up and launched down the ramp, right?
Yeah. He actually did
He's
get
like
scared,
little-
started clutching his chest, and
little-
rolled down to the ring.
Little Tom, just
Mm-hmm.
he just has to give a sign for pyro. Otherwise, he'll have to hide behind Mummy.
But yeah, Kazarian has been a multi-time freaking X Division champion. He is like old guard, basically.
It's like the
It's basically old school versus new school.
it's the legionaries before the emperor found their Primarch and brought the other soldiers over, right? It's like there's the people from the Death Planet, and then there's the new people, and
If you know what he's talking about, you know what he's talking about.
Look,
We're Warhammer fans too, so
I am a fucking nerd. Can't you tell? I got a goddamn podcast about wrestling.
yes. And you're always gonna slip in other nerdy facts.
Look, it's called audience building.
We're both
alright?
nerds about different things.
Let's
For
see.
instance, I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan.
Ruh-roh.
And Legos. I love Legos.
Yeah, you should see PJ's TikTok. We got the only thing that I got was the slingshot cutter thing from that match.
That was pretty good. Oof. The whole match was just like, I don't think they had a bad match on that card.
And see, that's why the notes...
Even the freaking pre-show was just...
Yeah. This is the pre-show, right?
They did have a couple of slip-ups in the show with the ring ropes, but other than that,
I think they were slipped or lubed up by someone. I don't know.
Probably someone was too oiled up or something.
The notes are very sparse because it was a good show.
We were just watching it.
We were.
Experiencing it.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's been a while since you have had fan perspective and you just wanted to watch a wrestling show that doesn't have any tribalism or patriotism towards a specific brand, if you just want to watch something to enjoy, it's worth picking up TNA Plus.
I mean, if anything else, just pick up that pay-per-view. It was
Just
a good
the
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view. I'm sure it's on some internet archive if you really don't want to pay for it.
Or if you just want to get the clip, like the major clips from it, they have a YouTube channel where they stick up all the like major stuff that happened.
Yep, and if we can get this podcast rolling out, we more likely will be play-by-play of what happened.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in having a live watch session like you see on TikTok all the time, we could even have it going through TikTok if you go and follow at AdamEven_THE. That's AdamEven_the. And if I can get enough people following me on there, we can do live viewer stuff. Adam Even, the man in the mask, and
Yes.
oh, maybe that's what should go. Adam Even, also known as, it's AKA the Adam Even, AKA. That's what it is. I don't go on TikTok a lot, folks. I'm sorry.
You just post those weird little videos that you do.
The games. Yeah. I'm falsifying viewership by playing those stupid little TikTok games.
And pretty much the only thing on my TikTok is my drawings and Lego.
So we got to get back into this.
Yeah, got sidetracked.
If you guys like digressions, you're in the right place.
We are easily distracted.
Oh yeah. But yeah, if you follow Adam Even, aka THE, then we might be able to get enough people to actually do live viewership reactions. We won't reveal any clips. You're going to have to watch it yourself, but you can watch it alongside us in case you do end up looking around the room and all you have are your own thighs to look at, okay?
Or other people's thighs.
There's nobody in that. If you have to go to the mirror to see another person, then you can watch TNA with us, okay?
I mean, if anything else, you could get the basic package for TNA, and it's like $9.99 a month.
I'm telling you though,
and you get the whole back catalog.
These next few matches are going to be a reason to watch TNA.
I mean, this pay-per-view pretty much got me back into wrestling. I wasn't really big into wrestling all that much lately, and then we watched that pay-per-view. And now I'm back watching the old TNA.
The heat from the WWE merger is kind of cooled down, and it's starting to get a little bit.
Well, the only thing we've been really excited for lately in WWE is freaking LA Knight or Randy Orton.
Yeah, let me talk to you.
Because Randy Orton is my favorite WWE superstar at the moment.
That's right.
He's been for a while.
It was a Randy Orton return. Let's not forget that.
Yes, he returned.
It was a goddamn Randy
and freaking R-Truth in his Judgment Day pals.
It was an R-Truth and Randy. Don't forget it. So we got that was the System winning, and then we had Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve in a no DQ title match for the TNA Digital Media Championship. Now, mind you,
their new titles are just pretty.
Dreamer was an inaugural champion. All right, he was the first one to win this title. I can't remember when. When did the Digital Media title?
I don't know when he won it. I'm not sure if he was the first one. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But I know he's had it for a while.
I remember them having the clips where after the TNA's coming back, and then they started unveiling various title belts, slowly leading up to Hard to Kill.
I want to see you the first one.
Anyway, so this one has a lot of notes because it was a beefy competition.
And we realized we hadn't really put anything a lot down on the previous parts, so we kind of
the last note was slingshot cutter thing, so there you go.
Very descriptive.
So we got the power slam with chair. That was really cool. Basically, it was a slam, but he had this chair, and he just slammed him down onto the ground with the chair.
Yeah. And then you also
doesn't have give. Imagine having a chair under you.
You also had that spot where Crazy Steve brought out the bag from underneath the ring with all the forks in it, and just starts piling into Tommy Dreamer's shirt.
There you go. The bag of we skipped 2 notes, by the way.
Sorry.
That's all right. Well, yeah, he brought out a bag, and is like, "Oh, what is it? It's gonna be."
The first champion was Jordan Grace.
The first Digital Media.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then, Dreamer was the first one with this.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it say when he won it?
I
have to pause this.
He won it on September 8th, 2023.
September 8th.
And lost it on January 13th, 24.
Yeah, well, I mean, this match.
Yeah.
By the way, spoiler alert, he gets a shirt full of forks and loses.
Yeah.
New champ? Crazy Steve is the Digital Media champion, which is, later in the card is a very interesting place to be. Don't spoil it now. We gotta keep people listening somehow.
Okay.
So we have a Ultimate X match next.
And that is the official start of the actual show, right?
Yes. So that's the end. That was the end of the early show. That was an early show. That was the
pre-show.
That was what was happening on Hard to Kill before the show even started.
Yeah. Pre-show.
They had a bunch of pay-per-view worthy matches before the pay-per-view even began.
And then don't we have like a freaking thing at the beginning of the show where all of the superstars are out on the entrance ramp and Eric Young gives this freaking awesome speech about how TNA is back.
Yeah, so talking about how they are the they're hard to kill. They're a brand that's going to stick around in the long run.
They've always been there. It's just in the background now, kind of stepping forward.
That's the interesting thing is that TNA has slowly, like with these past couple episodes, have really started to be talked about thing. People are now talking about TNA.
It's about time.
Woo! So we got...
It's crazy to think that they didn't talk about it. They talk about it more now that it's back to TNA than back when it was freaking Hogan and Bischoff in charge.
God bless him, Bischoff.
I mean, Bischoff is awesome. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. He's not afraid to talk about how stupid AEW's getting. But we're not tribal here. We'll watch it, I guess. If there's nothing on IWT. So next is the women's Ultimate X match, which was the start of the crazy that.
They started with a freaking Ultimate X match.
So that we got Tasha Steelz, Giselle Shaw.
Not sure about Shaw. I think it's Giselle Shaw.
Giselle Shaw, Alicia Edwards,
Mm-hmm.
Jody Threat, which was your favorite.
She looked awesome.
Danny Lunov.
I think it was Luna.
No.
Danny Luna.
That's right. I put V's down to show who's fighting who. My notes are crazy.
It's a good thing you're reading them.
And a surprising person that we recently saw at an AML event, Zaya Brookside.
Yeah.
Are you ready to fly?
We saw her like what was it, a month before? 2 months before?
Yeah.
At WrestleCade?
What's crazy is I think she knew where she was going.
Yeah.
Because she beat some ass.
And she was a new signing for TNA. This was her first match in TNA, basically.
I mean, no real notes.
I mean, it was an awesome match.
Giselle
That
won.
end was pretty cool. They had the 3 people up there, and Giselle Shaw just start beating people with...
No, she was beating ass.
People with the freaking X.
What, 3 or 4 women up on the ropes?
It was her and 2 other people. I think it was Jody... Was it Jody Threat and one other person?
Yeah.
And she just took the X and just started beating people in the head with it until they dropped.
And that led her to be able to unclip it and win.
And drop down.
I mean, handily. I was initially disappointed because I wanted to see other people win. Especially with Jody Threat up there. She was beating ass.
It's because we knew more about other people than her.
But, like, if you've never seen an Ultimate X match, it's something to behold.
Oh, yes.
It is probably one of the most inventive matches in wrestling. And believe it or not, it came before AEW decided to do the Stadium Stampede.
TNA has its own batch of, like, unique matches that they have. Like the freaking Elevation X.
Oof.
Oh.
I don't know
with
how they
Rhino
do that.
and AJ Styles.
That's one to watch. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's good.
I mean, anything in early TNA with AJ Styles. Like, perfection. They don't call him phenomenal for nothing.
So, next match was Dirty Dango with Alpha Bravo and Kozlov.
Well, formerly Kozlov. We never did quite forget his name. What is his name?
Um,
You don't have to. I'll just go on. I'll chime in when I find it.
PCO's entrance was literally Frankenstein.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was good.
They came out with the freaking jumpers and started his heart.
Yeah, no, his heart was dead, and they revived him with a car battery. Everything was good until there was a disqualification. I don't remember what caused...
Johnny Bravo got involved.
Johnny Bravo? His name's Johnny Bravo?
I'm pretty sure his first name is Johnny, but Bravo got involved.
Do the monkey. Do the monkey.
Bravo got involved.
So...
His name is Oleg.
There was a disqualification and a beatdown that had Rhino come out. And after Rhino came out, Santino came out and was like, I have the authority
Yeah.
to change this match.
And it's gonna be a 6-man tag.
It was a 6-man tag.
And they got... It was...
Jake something
Jake something. Heck of a name.
was a tag match with, of course, PCO, Rhino, and the
Yeah.
Heroes.
PCO is insane.
Oh, it's always good to see.
Yeah.
Personally, that's a favorite. That's one of the first people I latched onto in 2014 was.
Oh, he's super...
Fang
He's super...
Dango. At that time, he was having a different girlfriend every night.
Yeah, freaking Summer Rae. We met him at WrestleCade
We did.
2 years ago.
He was alone. He didn't have a handler. I almost walked off without paying him.
Ew, he was super nice.
He was super nice. He seemed like he was left out in the open and he was not expecting it. Since then, WrestleCade has gotten a little bit better. This is not something we'll talk about right now. We're so far removed from WrestleCade that this is not the time to talk about it, but I feel like it's worth talking about it in the first episode of something. WrestleCade's gotten pretty good. We'll talk about that closer to November.
Yeah, it's gonna be the last couple days of November and the 1st of December.
First
this
of
year.
December, it just extends right. So it becomes your new Thanksgiving tradition and first day of Advent. There's a lot of stuff that could be done better. There was one thing in particular, like a guy talking about he got a TNA Originals, and that belt, it was expensive, but it was good for as many signatures as you could fit on the belt.
Yeah. And you got, what, front row seats?
And all you had to do was bring the belt.
Yeah. And you got
then
into...
you could get it signed.
You get backstage, all that, and you're like VIP for every time you bring that belt.
It's pretty good. Now,
It was super cool.
Look, if WrestleCrap has taught me anything, you should have to
Just carry, or bring a ref around with you
that
everywhere you go.
shit's mine! Defend your belt or relinquish it! I want VIP!
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation we had in line for the Super Show this past year. Right, so we next have, what's that about?
What's what about?
You'd be laughing too if you were seeing the notes that I was seeing.
Okay,
right now.
what are your notes?
It's MK Ultra versus Decay.
Yeah. The match that wasn't even scheduled.
It wasn't scheduled, was it?
No, they said it wasn't scheduled. It was a surprise match.
And this isn't just DK. This is Decay with a returning to form Rosemary.
Yeah, she's been Courtney Rush for a while now.
Probably since that AML Impact show, right?
I think so. It was like
that
not
was
long
where
after
she
that.
kind of coined the character that she was, which was this punk rock star chick.
I think so, yeah.
We were actually at that show.
Yeah.
I think we helped put that one up, as a matter of fact.
That was WrestleCade.
That was WrestleCade. We didn't start doing that.
It wasn't last year, but it was the year before last.
Oh, wow. Has it already been that long?
Yeah.
It was a good, funny show.
It was.
I honestly, I think we should probably watch that.
Again?
Well, in the format that it was meant to be viewed in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff was to hard camera, which was the other side of where we were.
Yeah.
So, if you guys end up watching this show we're talking about,
WrestleCade 2022?
2022, if you guys watch the Impact show,
What was it called?
I can't remember. It was a Southpaw wrestling style thing.
Yeah. But it was Impact. And all of the different superstars were different characters, and it was awesome. Even though people didn't like it because it wasn't an actual Impact show. I keep saying it was Impact back then. Why do I keep saying that?
I don't know, because we're talking about TNA.
And I keep mixing them up.
Beer City Bruiser was a guy. He's like a beaver. He was eating boards, right? He was chewing on wood.
I don't think Beer City Bruiser was part of that.
He was one of the idiot background characters.
Oh, then I don't remember. It's been a while. We need to watch it again. It was awesome.
Again, we were on the wrong side to really see a bunch of stuff. We could hear everything, but it didn't really line up.
Mike Bailey was a freaking baguette-toting Frenchman.
Oh yeah, he was. It was really funny. It was really funny with one of the Motor City Machine Guns, right?
No, he was.
No, the Motor City Machine Guns. They were paper boys.
It was only one of the Motor City Machine Guns. It was Chris Sabin. And there was another guy. I can't remember what the other guy's name was.
We're talking about the wrong show.
Sorry.
Right now. Maybe we'll.
I told you, we're easily distracted.
We like the shiny anyway. So this surprise match, all I have listed as stuff is, holy shit, Rosemary Full Metal Alchemist gear, which is really cool considering the juxtaposition of her shard-based character. And new Knockouts champs.
Yeah, Knockout Tag Team Champions with those new pretty belts.
So this surprise match resulted in Slamovich's team getting screwed. They screwed over.
Oh, that freaking part where Rosemary, the other person is crawling over Rosemary when she's down, and it's just Rosemary just pops up and reverses the position.
The thing about that is, like, MK Ultra was not expecting Decay in its old form to come back.
I mean, recently it's been Courtney Rush and Jessica.
Jessica.
She's sick.
Totally. Like, dude.
I think it's even part of her entrance theme is Jessica. She's
sick. Dog. Dog, she's sick.
Yeah.
Totally dog sick. Sick dog.
Sick.
Sick. Dog sick. Dog sick. Like, scrape it up off the carpet.
I like our carpet. I don't want our carpets sick, dog.
Talking about a sick dog, here we go. Scott D'Amore and the CEO of Lucha AAA entering a totally legit contract signed partnership.
Scott D'Amore is the best thing to happen to his team.
And if you guys are appraised on AAA Lucha Libre, it's not bad stuff. There's a lot of really cool ones. One that is really permeating and making the rounds actually shows up in this next match, which is a perfect segue.
Vikingo!
Vikingo! And Kushida, which, where I'm watching right now, is the early goings of NXT 2.0. He's currently an NXT. Hard to believe how far you can travel when WWE doesn't want you anymore.
Well, he's a time traveler.
That's right. And then we got Sabin. It was a triple threat title match for, the X Division title?
Yeah.
And just showing what Lucha can bring to the X Division.
Oh, it was awesome.
Because, man, Vikingo was cool until freaking Sabin took him out with the most destroyingest Canadian destroyer.
It was on the entrance ramp. Speaking of the entrance ramp, I love how they have that set up.
The ramp?
Yes.
Up to I think more shows need to do that.
Yes.
Because, there's so many people that I think want to do a outside spot, but they don't want to take the bump all the way to the floor.
Yeah. I mean, the entrance ramp is, like, flush with the ring, which
just makes
it's awesome.
Makes the show look good.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a good view of the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, I don't know if you guys have sat far away in a wrestling show, but it leads to if you're far enough away and low enough, the entrance ramp doesn't exist.
No. It's basically you can see people's heads. If that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 3 back and at an angle from the entrance ramp, 99% of that entrance ramp doesn't exist for you. Especially if it's somebody who is important, it doesn't exist if everybody's standing. And you could stand too, you're still not seeing that shit. With the ramp being raised up, there's not a bad seat in the house for entrances.
I wish more places would do like AML did with that theater that had it in.
Oh, with the stairs?
Yeah, where you could you could be up on the balcony and it was.
I'll tell you,
perfect.
you think you would get tired of standing at a wrestling show?
Nope.
That's something we need to talk about as some of our favorite venues. Got to put it in the notebook. Apparently during this match, the commentary dropped a very interesting tidbit of information, and that is that Chris Sabin has held every title design of the X Division title.
Yep.
And now that it has changed, it's even further removed.
And he's what, a 10-time X Division champion?
Yep. And probably one of the longest holders of that title.
Probably. Especially cumulatively.
Yeah, I mean, although nowadays, with the way title runs have been going, cumulative has stopped mattering.
Yeah, when you have, like, Roman Reigns holding it for, what, 5 years?
Over 1,000 days. Jeez. We're at almost at 1,500. It was, the thing here is, this match was Spot Mania, which is not surprising. I've seen a handful of X Division matches now, and all of them you can't blink.
No.
You can't blink.
That's why it's hard to write notes. You can't, like, look away to even write a little bit of a note.
You know, if you were wondering why they're called Total Nonstop Action, you look no X Division.
It is a very appropriate name.
Because, like, if you're tired of boring and slow matches or long storylines, they'll get it done in 30 minutes.
There's something going on the entire time.
They got this 3-man match for the title done in about 50.
It might have been about 20, but it was.
People were running the ropes the entire time.
It felt like it went on for longer, but that was because it was, like, non-stop something going on.
There was always a pop. There was something. Something was causing a pop every step of the way, and it was good. Sabin retains.
Yeah.
And then we got Josh Alexander
versus Ospreay
versus Hammerstone.
Oh, Hammerstone. That's the next one.
Ospreay is Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I forgot.
This is apparently the reveal from my co-host here.
My bad.
Is that Josh Alexander is in fact the walking weapon.
Yeah.
He goes by, for those of you who are not appraised of TNA, which I'm assuming is going to be most of you tribalists out there only watching the big two, Josh Alexander is referred to as the walking weapon.
And there's a reason behind it.
And there's a reason for it, because he uses every part of his goddamn body to make sure you're done. And, God, there's so many people I would love to see. I feel like Chad Gable.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
he's definitely a technical wrestler.
Gunther would have a good match with this man.
Yes.
And as we'll get into it, Will Ospreay would have a good match.
That would be good.
Contrary to what the quote-unquote fans of wrestling are going to say, that his match was crap, I think it was one of the best matches I've ever watched, but we'll get into that because, we got the...
That's a whole different show.
But we got one more page, and then we're getting to
Snake
the
Eyes.
18th edition of... So next we have is Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone. All that I have put down is it was very old school.
Oh, very.
It was slow, it was grindy. I mean, anything's gonna seem slow after an X Division match like that.
Yeah.
But
they were both pretty much heavy hitters.
Oh yeah, and they were doing it. They were doing it. It was really good. It was a very grindy match, and
it was basically a powerhouse versus a technical wrestler.
Yeah.
With Josh Alexander doing a bunch of submission moves.
Yeah, I do appreciate a good transition into a submission move, into a submission move, into a submission move. And it just I like when you can chain submission. As a matter of fact, my character in 2K 23 can chain submission
You're
moves
like a
that.
submission machine.
Yeah, that's right. And like each submission move gets you have to reverse those submission moves because each submission move it gets a little tighter.
Yeah.
And because it targets and targets. Next up we have later in the show 24. Get ready for it. All right, ABC, the Rascals, Grizzled Young Vets,
Making their TNA debut.
and
It was Mike Bailey and
Laredo Kid and
Laredo Kid.
Speedball. Laredo Kid, was he the one that was supposed to be in it?
He was not. It was originally, who was it? It was originally Trent Seven.
Trent's, yeah. Apparently travel issues has kept Trent away.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I think they had teams like once before that.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be Speedball Bailey's partner. Speedball Bailey's partner was replaced by Laredo Kid because apparently travel issues. Most of the United States, except for North Carolina for some reason, experiencing the most brutal snow in the year of our Lord 2024.
Thankfully, we have not got snow yet.
One would say a scrying of snow from 20 Fungalore.
Jeez.
If you are appraised, then you know. If you do not know, then you are not ready. How many one-liners can I pop off in a show, baby? Let's go.
You are a one-liner machine.
I pop off one-liners like my character in 2K does submissions.
Yep.
So we got ABC taking the dub match. Not too many notes besides the Spartan.
It was all over the place.
It was. I mean, like, I think we got to a count of 4 with the wrong in man at one point.
Wasn't the last two teams in the ring the Rascals and ABC?
Oh, it was elimination?
No, they were the last two teams standing, is I think what it was.
I believe so.
And of course, they were the ones that the Rascals were the ones that ABC beat for the titles, so they wanted them back.
Yeah, something like that. Next, we have Champion Trinity versus Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title match.
Her entrance is awesome.
Her entrance is awesome.
With her name on her hair.
Oh, Trinity?
Yeah.
Grace apparently won she's the winner of the Call Your Shot tournament.
Yep.
So she got what is essentially a
tournament that has men and women in it.
Yeah, mind you, this is the lady we were talking about that made the EST look not so EST.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the only note I have is that there's a new knockout champion because Grace won. She won clean. Brilliant glow time entrance though.
Oh, it was awesome.
I'm glad she's still keeping that going because it is.
It's perfect.
All these years later, she's still doing it, and my God, it's still one of the most over things I've ever seen.
And then afterwards, Giselle Shaw came out and just attacked everyone.
She beat the shit out of everyone.
I think she came out with her entourage. It was like a post-match thing.
That's not in my notes, so it must have been boring.
I think it was on like Twitter or TikTok or something.
Oh, so it wasn't part of it?
No.
Okay.
It was after it went off the air.
Our main event, Alex Shelley versus Moose for the X Division title.
World Heavyweight title.
X Division. It's not the X Division title?
No, it's World
Heavyweight title. I put the wrong
title.
fucking thing in here. I'm sorry, folks.
You were sick at that point still.
I was not feeling well. I've been sick for
off and on for like
a month.
A month,
two.
yeah.
I have not been well. I got well enough to go out and do some grocery shopping and get sick again.
Yep.
Alex Shelley versus Moose for the heavyweight title. Moose turned in the Feast or Fired case for this match.
Another TNA original match.
Something we'll have to talk about in the future when the time is right, which will be based on TNA. Mm-hmm. We might do a preemptive lead-up to a Feast or Fired match where we talk about that. So, TNA-centric podcast. Who likes it? Moose keeps the tempo slow. He was slowing down Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
And is really like why Alex Shelley was having a lot of trouble in the match, was that it was slow, it was grindy, and
although
likes to
Alex Shelley was working on Moose.
Oh yeah, I mean like
he was wearing him down.
He had to raise the tempo of the match in order to do it, and Moose shot that tempo back down to a snail's pace again. CCV in the corner pocket. What does that mean?
CCV in the corner pocket? What the heck does that mean?
Oh, that's right! CCV, freaking the podcast guy.
Oh.
Oh
yeah.
That's some my fucking
You were just
notes.
talking about him.
We were just talking about him. He was at the show, and he was filming pretty much everything. His TikTok has a lot of really good clips from this paper. If you want to get some really good up close and personal highlights, he has a beautiful video of that destroying the ramp.
He was in a perfect position for it.
So the grinding and the cashing of the case did pay off.
Yep.
Because Moose won.
Which is a change from pace from WWE.
Moose won. Well, we're gonna find out it's not so much a change of pace from WWE, because freaking bursting from the audience was a goddamn wild Dick Nemeth.
Yeah.
Ending the show like CM Punk at War Games.
Yeah.
Just surprise, motherfucker, I'm here. And guess what? Rip, I'm wearing a TNA shirt.
Yep.
And he signed with TNA. What a glorious, glorious place. I have said for years, before I even really knew what TNA was, besides the types of matches and the types of that people like it, over the years I've rebolstered my ideas, and for years, PJ can attest to it, I said Nick Nemeth or Dolph Ziggler back of WWE fame would do so well in TNA, and I was so happy to see him.
They're going to let him
up.
shine.
He's already shined.
And they're not going to keep him from going anywhere.
Nope.
TNA has so many freaking partnerships all over the place, and they don't have a contract where you're not allowed to do anything. Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan with his broken orbital. Bullshit. Fought the same freaking weekend that WrestleCade was.
Just couldn't attend WrestleCade because of couldn't get on an airplane. Yet you couldn't drive all the way over here.
I'm just saying, don't they film in Florida?
I think it was down in Florida, yeah.
They film in Florida! Like, drive!
That was AEW.
Yes. AEW.
Yeah.
They film in Florida.
They probably didn't let him get on a plane.
It's not a plane. He doesn't need to go on a plane. Drive, motherfucker.
Yeah,
drive.
no.
Whatever.
They themed the entire WrestleCade around him.
It was literally called the Year of the Dragon. I'm wondering if they'll redo it this year.
I think their new thing is called Legends.
Fair enough.
I saw something about it.
We're slowly getting...
They keep posting happy dances.
Happy dances? What do you mean?
They just keep posting happy dance.
What's a happy dance?
Exactly. And they post like a gif of different people doing happy dances.
I gotta post a happy dance.
I don't know what... I'm guessing every time someone confirms, they do a post of a happy dance on there.
Okay, well then, I guess we have a lot of people that are showing up. The theme should be confirmed in another couple months. WrestleCade confirmed super early.
Yeah.
To their detriment in the cases of, like, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, and fucking, Sandman?
And Boogeyman that one year.
I still, honestly, I don't know if Sandman is alive or...
There's been conflicting reports.
He is an ever-changing Mandela effect.
But we did get Violent J this year.
Oh, that was really cool. You know what? We gotta have a dedicated episode where we talk about WrestleCade. Maybe we rewatch the WrestleCade super shows and stuff on pay-per-view, and then we come back and we talk about...
It might be on IWTV.
Hmm?
It might be on IWTV.
Really? IWTV, a very good app. IWTV, get back to us. We can partner, I swear. We're really good at what we do, even though it's our first one. Look. If This is the worst one. Then we're doing. Then and it only gets better from here. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've already finished my applesauce.
Okay. Impact 1/18/24. This would be the Snake Eyes show, part 2 in the same arena in
It was taped that
Nevada.
Sunday.
It was taped the same day. It's the same day, second day.
The next day.
Hard
Hard to Kill was on Saturday.
Everybody was worried there was going to be a 2 nights in the same arena, and it's not the pay-per-view, that people wouldn't show up.
That got a little bit confusing.
Let me tell you, people freaking showed up.
Oh yeah, it seemed like there were as many people at Hard to Kill as there was at Snake. If not more.
So we got Kushida versus Troy Miguel representing the Rascals.
Trey Miguel.
Huh?
Trey Miguel.
Trey. There's an O here. But, Mike Bailey representing the team that doesn't exist right now because of travel issues. Vikingo being just... Guys, go watch Vikingo fight.
You can catch him on YouTube. It's a experience.
He's really good at what he does, and he's so young.
And he's the AAA champion.
He is currently the AAA champion, which is great. Laredo Kid. Jake something.
He was awesome. I was not expecting him to be in an X Division match, though.
Yeah, he was like just man.
He was
mountain.
the odd one out.
He was Man Mountain.
They even mentioned it.
All that I have here as notes is crazy Canadian DDT.
Not sure about that.
That was that crazy move where it was the team, but it was...
Oh, it was the Canadian Destroyer DDT thing.
Yeah.
Where it was like basically a freaking front flip DDT.
Anyway, all ending in Man Mountain taking the W at the X Division Scramble. I think that was for #1 contender.
Yep. For Chris Sabin's X Division title.
So it wasn't a scramble match like I was hoping. Man, they don't do that match type nearly enough.
Yeah.
Where the title's always on the line.
You never know what's gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
freaking Brian Kendrick winning the WWE Championship.
Sheesh!
Or was it the Intercontinental title? I think it was WWE Championship.
Women's action. Zaya Brookside versus... Zaya Brookside with GYV. Gav?
You're writing.
I know, right? Kaz and with Grav and Kaz and Eric versus Tasha Steelz.
I feel like you're mixing up. It was Zaya Brookside versus Tasha Steelz.
Zaya Brookside versus Tasha Steelz. I forgot I squeezed. She was repping Judgment Day in purple and...
Judgment.
Good talk. So,
Yes.
that was simple. Zaya Brookside getting the W, reclaiming her D that she should have gotten in that X match.
Well, it was her first match, and this is her first official match on TNA, like, tapings.
So we got Grizzled Young Vets. That's what it stood for.
Versus Kaz and...
Versus Kaz x Eric Young.
Yep.
And we have Grizzled Young Vets winning.
And
barely.
Freaking Kaz turning on...
Kaz had a heel turn against Eric Young.
Yep.
And, like, brutally, too.
I've seen stuff from the next episode, because they do tapings. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be good?
Yeah.
So we got a Nick Nemeth promo. And I wrote down here in a quote, it's the happiest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
He looked
That's for sure.
so tired at the tail end of his WWE. And this is the happiest I have ever seen him in the ring. It really is.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping, now that he's here, Bobby Roode will come back to TNA.
Vidal got cheap heat. I don't remember what it was.
What was it?
It was PCO versus Vidal, with Vidal getting cheap heat with the audience before the match.
Vidal?
Vidal. Vidal.
I don't know who that is.
He got cheap heat. It made him not memorable at all.
I'm trying to think who that is.
But we got PCO action. PCO. We don't remember who he is because it was a PCO squash match.
Yep.
Where he beat the shit out of him this whole time.
Oh, his entrance is awesome.
Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay.
2.
Yeah, it's a best out of 3. And Josh Alexander won, but just barely.
Yeah, barely.
Just barely.
And Will Ospreay put Josh Alexander through a table and scraped his back all up.
Yeah, I would say that contributed to the loss.
Yeah.
He,
It seemed like they were going to stop the match for a minute there.
for a little bit, yeah, they were checking on Ospreay for a while there.
Trying to figure out what was going on.
This is the match everybody says, man, Will Ospreay should have won. I'm like, it was to keep the rivalry going.
And it was a good
It
match.
was a good match.
They brought out the best in each other.
Like, Will Ospreay wants to see good continue. I'm sure that there's some pay-per-view coming up that's going to be the final match. But Will Ospreay, he's always wanted to fight in a TNA ring. He hasn't gotten the opportunity. You got to remember, like, Will Ospreay, he's young. He is a young guy.
They said it was his boyhood dream to fight in a TNA ring.
A boyhood dream to fight in a TNA ring, which means that, again, he's young. Like, he's just a prodigy.
Yeah.
He's a prodigy.
It's like what you said about Logan Paul.
Logan Paul's a prodigy. You know, they come every once in a while. These guys that are really good at the wrestling, at the throwing of bodies, Broadway with body slams, and you know, occasionally they're as good as Will Ospreay, and you forget how long they've been doing this. Yeah. And it only becomes obvious when they say, "My boyhood dream was to fight in a TNA ring."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, there you go. All right, and that is the end of.
Oh, and after the match, D'Amore came out and did his whole "This is TNA" spiel and hyped the crowd up and just went crazy.
Microphone flying.
Yeah,
Spiked
like a microphone.
Freaked Ospreay out because it almost hit him.
He was like surprised that happened.
But yeah, that would be the end of this first two-parter.
Yes, we've started watching the old stuff again.
It's good, guys. I mean, like, if you're...
The old stuff is a lot slower. It hasn't quite gotten into its groove yet.
It's what they call the Asylum era. And honestly, that's probably what we're gonna be watching while there's nothing to watch for 6 months as we wait for Peacock to port all of WWE over to Netflix. Seems like when the network shut down in the United States, it took so long.
I don't get why they had to go to Netflix.
I think it was like 6 to 9 months before Peacock got all of the old stuff.
With as many people pulling out of Netflix, why would you choose someone that has all of these members leaving because of the practices that they do?
My prediction. I stand by my prediction. My prediction is because I think that there's a buzz that Disney's.
I guess.
And that's cool for the Disney bundle. What's not cool is WWE doesn't want to be affiliated with Disney.
No, that would be a huge step back if they were affiliated.
Would be.
They wouldn't be able to do
the Fiend
majority
burned for our sins to get us out of the PG era, and it has not been the same since.
They don't want to go back to that.
Some of the most compelling stuff, like the rivalry between Seth Rollins and Bro.
Riddle. Yeah.
So
with that cage match they did.
It was interesting. It wasn't what I thought it would be. When is WWE ever what we thought it would be?
I'm looking forward to that if Gunther wins the Royal Rumble. Did you want to talk about the...
Gunther winning the Royal Rumble on Sunday?
No, the freaking segment with Gunther and...
Oh, I mean, like...
On Raw.
You know, getting away from TNA and back into the... Dinkle, dinkle, here's the keys, jingle, jingle, WWE, jingle, jingle. We have some very interesting news, depressing news from Seth Rollins. 3 months out of action leading up to Mania.
He says he's going to do his very best, and he's going to make sure he makes this WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, and that's good. Look, if fucking Roman Reigns can take off as much time as he does, then, god damn it, so can Seth Rollins, alright?
Yeah.
But I do think that the news is going to come down to Seth is either going to make it to Mania, or we're going to find out that there is a heavyweight tournament at Mania.
Or can you imagine the heavyweight title being the prize for the Royal Rumble?
That'd be sad.
It would.
Well, I mean, look, title surprises run in the family with what Becky Lynch did that one time, so there you go.
Yeah, losing the title at the beginning and then entering the Royal Rumble match, even though she wasn't in it.
I'm more talking about
Whose place did she take? Was it Dana Brooke?
Oh my god, we missed talking about Dana Brooke at TNA. Will you forget
what
she
is she
exists
now?
because she's a goddamn chameleon.
Ash by Elegance or something?
Well, she definitely had a lot of elegant surgery done.
Oh, a lot of people are comparing her to what Toni Storm's doing right now in
Wrapped in
AEW.
plastic. She was essentially an Emelina version.
Kinda.
But yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, there was a really, look, say what you want about Gunther, but he is classic heel in action.
Yeah.
I have a hard time hating something that it's so old school and good.
Yeah, he is like the essential old school wrestler right now.
And he's that quintessential bad guy, and it's
That would
really
be a good match.
What?
Gunther versus Seth Rollins,
It would
if that
be.
happens. I mean, even if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I mean, that would be a good match for Mania.
It would be.
Especially if no one else challenges Seth.
It's true. So we gotta do a quick lightning round. I know I got a lot of stuff to cut out of here, but we are getting down to the wire as far as time is concerned, and we might as well spend this time talking about WWE.
Yes.
A lot of really cool stuff coming out of WWE 2K24. Got a significant amount of playtime out of 2K3.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say, my most played game this year.
Besides mobile games.
I don't even want to know how much time I put in it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that is an obscure number for me, because, if I knew how much of my life went into that game... Well, I will be honest, I developed my own personal style playing that game, and God, if you guys could see, maybe if we get enough likes on this video, I'll drop my character in the old custom creations.
Yeah.
With a specific hashtag so you guys can find it and download it. But man, I developed this character over the course of the entire... I was playing through the Lock career mode. Very nice storyline, very nice career mode. But if you thought 2K23 was a beautiful game, I mean, 2K24, they did this thing like they do with the what's it called? The showcases.
Oh yeah,
where
showcase.
They took the characters and it was like Cody Rhodes sitting there and he's like, you think this is the end of my story? No, it's just the beginning. And it shows him in the ring.
Yeah.
And you can hardly tell the difference between the video of the superstar and the character in the game. It's seamless. It looks super good. I am worried about melting my PlayStation 5.
Speaking of Cody Rhodes, he's on the cover of the standard version.
He is on the cover of the standard edition. He's an innocent baby. He's just happy to be included. I think any other star would have been disappointed. Oh, we're just going to be on the standard edition.
And then Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
They are currently deluxe edition.
Yep.
But, regrettably, we're going to have to pick that up on the post-consumer market.
We are definitely getting the digital only 40 years of WrestleMania version.
Yeah. And it has a whole bunch of it's
got so many things.
I think isn't it supposed to be it's the showcase this year is going to be all of the main events of the 40 WrestleManias.
I think so, yeah.
Which is really cool. Any way to keep Hogan locked at the moment.
But yeah, there's the 3 different editions, and then you got the pre-order bonus, which is that Cody Rhodes
The Nightmare
Family pack.
It's the Nightmare Family pack.
Which comes with that really cool looking bruised Cody Rhodes Mattel figure.
Hopefully it comes with the figure and isn't just like, hey, you're eligible to go out and purchase a figure. I still haven't received my John Cena in my email, folks. I'm still waiting for that
And we
code.
got it right as soon as they did that. We went out and bought a figure and put in our
As
information.
content creators were getting their codes in the mail, I was like, okay, it's safe for us to go out and get it.
Yeah, and nothing ever happened.
We never got it. I didn't really care. It was going to be cool. Turns out, action figure John Cena, not the coolest John Cena you were able to get in the game.
You got the Super Cena.
Super Cena. Literally the hardest thing I think I've ever done in a video game beating Super Cena.
Yeah.
Either I was just stupid or it was tough to beat him.
Yeah. Well, he's 100 overall for the Super Cena?
He is maxed out, yes. And
which makes hard to
let's get this John Cena
target him.
Nike. Let's get him naked. No.
But yeah, they got new match types too. Well, not new, but they brought back the casket match and the gauntlet match.
Yeet. Well, look, they brought back anything that's going to it's probably because anything that is going to be in that showcase.
Yeah, it's probably going to be in showcase.
It has to be. Because I think there was a gauntlet match that was
and they
fun.
brought back guest referee matches.
Guest referee matches. That's right.
And now you can have multiple superstars in backstage brawl, which is gonna be kind of fun.
That's right. Reenact your Smash Brothers dreams in
also,
WWE 2K24.
I saw that they're gonna have vending machines now where you can grab the sodas off the ground and just pelt them at people.
Their backstage stuff has really come a long way from 2K20.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they announced what the My Rise is going to be.
Really?
There's going to be Unleashed and Undisputed.
Really?
Is the name of the 2 different ones.
Interesting.
And of course, My Faction's back.
Yeah, I might actually play that this year.
I hope they've fixed Universe Mode. Because, you've noticed we've been having problems with Universe Mode.
trying. We run a little crew called the Black Jacket Club. That's just, it was a cute little name we came up with, and we decided to make a group around it. It's my character, Adam Even. It's literally a 1-to-1 of my stuff. I've now updated it to stuff that I would love to get as attire for my character, my actual persona. But then it's paired up with Ilya Dragunov, who's just cool.
Yeah.
We endorse Ilya Dragunov here at the Sellout Podcast, alright?
Yes. And of course now we've added Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy as a manager.
Yeah, he is the Black Jacket Club's manager.
But yeah, there's, I hope they tweak Universe Mode, and of course, returning once again, I think it's going to be a standard feature now. My GM mode, it's fun. It's a bit broken.
It looks like they've added Tyler Breeze as a manager.
As a manager? Well, how is Tyler Breeze going to compete with a dog?
Yeah. They've added freaking Cody Rhodes' dog Pharaoh as a manager.
I'm wondering how that's going to work. How is a dog going to put a chair in the ring?
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. And, oh, God have mercy once people port the manager into an actual superstar slot. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going to regret being able to make cross-play custom create.
What else? They said they're going to have over 200 superstars.
200. That's a lot.
And
as I've said, when we got this information initially, is that I like that they're padding out their roster with already made stuff so other people don't have to. Because that'll allow us to get really crazy things like Vikingo or just have the focus be elsewhere. A lot of really good a lot of really people, it's neat that people have been keeping up with the pay-per-views so that way. I mean, like, we've got Damian Priest in his current outfit, right? You know, all of the Judgment Day, I guess we got to put JD McDonough on the team.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about. They've also added different stipulations in the Universe mode, including double title matches and loser leaves town matches.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to work. I'm assuming what it does is in Universe mode, if you lose, the loser leaves. What it does is it removes the brand and makes you have to select another one.
That's what it seems like it would be. Either that or you'd become a free agent.
Well, free agents have to pick a show to be on.
Yeah. That should be interesting to try out. We should try that out once we get it.
Yeah.
And, like, let people know what it is. I mean,
look out for that future episode where we live stream playing 2K24 for the first time.
But yeah,
Are you ready to break some embargoes? Hooey mama!
They've also added to the creation suite, they've added create a referee and create a sign.
About time.
So we can create our own referees.
And I can finally get a sign that says the fuck word.
Yes! I don't know if they'll let you, but you can try.
Yeet.
They do still have limitations to what you can say on things. I mean, I looked up smile and they said it was a bad word.
There you go. Hey!
I was trying to find a picture in the, what is it called? Community Creations. And I typed in smile because I was trying to find something specific. And it was like, nope, you can't search that.
That's right, you tribalist fucks. You don't want happiness. Smiles, not allowed. Not in this brand. No. Go if you want to smile, go watch TNA.
Yeah, you'll be constantly smiling. Just
Yep. There you go. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm really starting to smile seeing all.
Yeah.
And what the best part is the release date that was announced is less than 2 months away.
Yeah, it's what, March 2nd?
We've been dying for information for about 3 or 4 months.
They did the same
now.
thing last time.
Yeah, and it's like all of a sudden we get this announcement, and the next thing you know, you're going to be having the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. I'm Royal Rumble. It's this weekend, right?
Yes, this weekend.
God.
Saturday.
Damn, I gotta work on getting this podcast out. But yeah, so I guess you'll be hearing from us around that time. If not, even having a live recording session as we watch.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting off early that day, so I'm going to be able to watch it the entire way through.
Yeah, that's right. Do the arm pump.
I'm not going to do it. I've resisted.
Resist.
I've resisted.
Well, all right. I think this is the bottom of the hour, and we are ready off. If you guys liked what you don't
like
hesitate.
we heard.
Look, it's going to be in a video.
You're used to YouTube.
You're going to be in a video. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you heard, then don't hesitate. Follow and comment in the comment section talking about what's your favorite new feature of this upcoming 4K.
Yeah, maybe suggest some things.
Yeah. If you guys are interested in independent wrestling,
we could even do an entire show of old video games because I've played them all.
Well, anyway, the most important thing right
Some
now
better
is
than
this
others.
is a brand spanking new page, and you got to subscribe. If you want to see us again, this might be the first and last time you see Sellout Podcast. Don't let that happen. This is the worst one, but it's on our way to the best one.
Yeah, I've actually
and
enjoyed myself today.
See, we got a person who doesn't like talking, enjoying talking. Hallelujah, holy shit, she can walk, folks.
And talk, apparently. Yeah, I don't strut.
Good night, everybody.